Right, so dream team for the first round of the Rugby Championship. This is take number 2. My camera stuffed up my phone. Right as I was on the last player of the first video. So I'll probably do this one a bit quicker. I'm burning daylight. Sun is about to go down. See if I can get it finished before that happens. As always, this is not a 15 for 15 representation of the actual positions in the team. So I've not bothered to go with tight head, loose head, locks and props. It's not left winger, right winger, fullback. It's just general kind of, if you've ever played rugby fantasy games online, just kind of loose positioning. So I do have 3 wingers and I do have 2 outside centers. So it's a bit of a mix, but it's also a bit of fun. So some cool stats here and some pretty cool performances to talk about. So I will go over these, perhaps a bit quicker than the last time. So firstly, the props. I have gone with Franks and Mtawira. I should say that this team is mostly going to be made up of Springboks and All Blacks. It's just the kind of way the results went. And if you have been playing fantasy rugby this year, like on Rugby Pass or wherever else, my team is going to look substantially similar to some of those teams where all those stats come from. I guess with only 2 games on, it kind of makes sense that a lot of people are going to pick the same players. But I've picked these 2 guys, Franks and Mtawira, both for their scrummaging mainly. But also Franks, I mean, he had 3 runs and 2 meters, which is very much like himself, and 7 from 7 tackles, which is solid as always. Tawira was a lot busier with the ball than with his tackles, so he had 12 runs for 15 meters, beat a defender, 3 offloads, which is great for a guy with a single digit on his shirt, 3 from 3 tackles, and again, that scrum. So the Beast still playing like he's in his 20s, and Franks as well still managed to prop up that All Black scrum. Hooker, if you know me, you know I love Malcolm Marx. Here's Malcolm Marx. It's not even his best performance, to be honest. He can do better. But 8 runs for 15 meters, beat a defender. 2 from 4 tackles is nothing special. A couple of lineouts went astray. But the guy had 4 turnovers on the ground. That's more than David Pocock. 4 turnovers. The guy is... I mean, you can essentially not worry so much about what your back row is doing when you've got Marx on the team, because he will just help out on the ground like crazy. And offload there as well. So, Malcolm Marx. What else is there to say? Along with him as the world's best hooker, you have to say this was kind of a world's best lock performance from Brodie Retallick, wasn't it? That dummy he threw for that try, somebody in the comments called it disrespectful, and that's right. It was just, you got no right to do that, but he did it. 2 defenders beaten, 11 runs, 57 meters for a lock. That's incredible. Clean break, which was his try. 2 turnovers on the ground, so he's another guy who can kind of do that stuff that's not necessarily in his job description. 1 win at the lineout and 3 lineout steals added to that pain for the Wallabies at lineout time. Just generally a very good all-round performance. To go with him, I got Peter Steph du Toit from the Springboks. This guy has always had a workhorse engine about him. And I perhaps was a little bit worried about him and Etzebeth in the lineup, but there's no worries there. 10 runs, 18 meters, solid. 7 passes, 2 offloads, cool. 18 from 18 tackles. The guy likes tackling a lot. And 3 line-out takes, 1 line-out steal. Nothing to worry about in that regard. So very, very good shift from him. Back rowers, Lucy's David Pocock. He is my one and only Wallaby in this team. 8 runs, 3 defenders beaten, and a clean break. With those knees of his, you know his knees are not in good condition. Still managed a clean break for 18 meters. 18 out of 20 tackles and 3 turnovers. The All Blacks were all over them in that game at times, and he was one of the guys kind of trying to staunch that flow, especially at the breakdown. Good effort from him in a losing team. Another one is Pablo Matera from the Pumas. He's had a really big engine about him in Super Rugby as well. He did a bit of everything really well. He got a try, 5 runs for 13 meters is solid. Beat a defender, made 13 out of 14 tackles, which is not that far behind what Pocock and du Toit were doing. So good all-round performance from him. My third choice for a Lucy, I've gone with Marcus Kremer, but I'll take feedback on this one because I've agonized about it for a while. He did all the basics really well. He had 10 runs, which is busy work when you compare to Matera, who had 5. 15 meters, that's fine. 14 from 14 tackles, solid. So he's running the ball, he's tackling, but he doesn't have any defenders beaten or turnovers on the ground or line-out takes. just the bare bones, he did very well, but then nothing kind of beyond it. And in a dream team, you probably want the guys who do a bit beyond it. So you guys let me know who you thought could have also been in that spot. Into the backs, Faf de Klerk. He's a good player, man. 1 try, 3 try assists. Very key to what the Springboks were doing. 3 from 4 tackles, 3 runs for 71 metres. So he was running at the right time. Good decision making is what you want from a scrum half, and we seem to be getting it there. Fly half, Bowden Barrett, soccer skills like mad. This will stop people talking about Richie Mo'unga for a week, I would say. A try, like I said, soccer skills, go watch the highlights. 2 try assists, 12 runs, 38 passes, so a good mix of is he going to run it, is he going to pass it. An offload, 2 defenders beaten, 3 clean breaks, 87 run meters. Sure, from the kicking tee, he was only 4 from 7, which one day is probably going to cost the All Blacks if they can't kind of score more tries. The All Blacks usually score more tries, so it doesn't matter. There may come a day when it matters, but he runs hot and cold with his boots, so maybe that day when the All Blacks are struggling, he'll kick all his goals. Remains to be seen. In the midfield, I've gone Jack Goodhue from the All Blacks. Pressure on him being only second cap. Was supposed to have Ryan Crotty inside him to continue that Crusaders partnership. Crotty goes off after 10 minutes. He still puts in a good shift. A try, 15 runs, 142 metres, which is crazy. 6 defenders beaten, a clean break, an offload, a turnover, and 11 from 11 tackles. Boy looks good. Next, Lukanyo who I was really looking forward to seeing playing. Good effort from him. He got a try, which was the first point-scoring play of that Bok game against the Pumas. He had 7 runs, 6 passes, so again, good balance of running and passing. 2 offloads, 12 run meters is not huge, but 10 from 11 tackles in a game when they didn't have to make that many tackles in the backs. 1 turnover on the ground. Good effort from Lukanyo I'm very pleased whenever I see him picked, even if it means leaving out Jesse Creel. I still like a lot as well. Outside backs, Waisaki Naholo, a big tackle at the start of the game, perhaps lucky not to have a bit more scrutiny put on that, but either way, 2 tries, 15 runs, 4 clean breaks, which is just stupidly good. 13 defenders beaten is just maddening because that doesn't happen. Maybe 10. 10 is amazing. 13 defenders beaten, 140 run meters, 2 offloads, 3 from 5 tackles. Like I said, he gave away a penalty at the start with that tackle, but other than that, good shift. Next, and I love seeing this guy play, Aphiwa Dianti from the Springboks. The guy's an excitement machine. He's just got a magic touch sometimes, and you never know what he's quite going to do, but it often turns to gold. 2 tries, an unselfish try assist. He could have gone in for a 3rd try. Flick the ball over to Mapimpi to get a try. Very unselfish. 9 runs, 3 defenders beaten, 1 clean break, 1 offload, 6 from 7 tackles, so defensively pretty sound as well. Only 35 run meters, which is not huge, but a lot of time he was chasing kicks, so he didn't have the ball. Those don't get measured. Lastly, Makazola Mapimpi. So like I said, I got 3 wingers on my outside backs. 2 tries. One of those a gift from Dianti, but he was in the right place at the right time. 11 runs, 1 defender beaten, 3 clean breaks, 81 run meters, even got a turnover on the ground. Showed some pretty good commitment. The guy's had a lot of rugby over the last, how long since Super Rugby? Last year. He's been playing pretty much non-stop, so he's still in good form. That's the team. You guys let me know your thoughts. That was probably a bit quicker than it needed to be, but like I said, the first time stuffed up. So here we go. That's the dream team. And yeah, happily take feedback on that. Who did you think did well? Who did you think struggled? Who else could be here? If I had to pick a captain for this dream team, it is probably going to be Brodie Retallick, man. That dummy was just sick. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.